Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to everybody. And I hope that everybody's week is doing okay so far. We're halfway there. Hey, how's everybody going? How's everybody doing? I'm Brant within my head. As you may or may not know, somebody told me I needed to start saying my name a little more often because some of the new people don't know my name. So my name's Brant, and this is In My Head channel. Almost 4 years old now. We'll be 4 years old next month. That's crazy to think that they're already 4 years in on this journey, haha, that we're taking together. For those of you who have been here from the very beginning, welcome or thank you. And for those of you who are new and newer, welcome. And if you're watching this on the live, it's good to see you. I'll be talking to you guys in the chat, and I'll be talking to you guys, looking at your chats. This is live. And if you're watching this on the replay, feel free to post your thoughts down in the comments because I love to hear your comments, good or bad. I read them. I don't always reply, but I do read them. I get notifications every time. And so we're doing Journey. We're doing Journey versus Journey, two classic albums I've already seen some people saying. And before I get to talking about you guys in the chat and talk about these two albums on this panel, I want to take a minute to say thank you to my Patreon supporters. Their names are scrolling across the bottom of the screen. I think I see one Patreon supporter in here so far. Mr. Rex Smetzer is a Patreon supporter. He supported me for several months now, and the money that they pay to support and get behind the scenes stuff that they get through Patreon helps support the channel. And they got invited to be in the actual video tonight, and Rex said that he couldn't be in the video, but he wanted to watch it. So I sent him the link for him to be able to watch it. I don't know if any of the other ones are going to pop up. If they do, I'll let them in. For right now, I don't see them. And so just want to say thank you to my Patrons going across the screen. I think I've got them memorized at the supporter level. I have Pyretta, and I don't have. Let's see, at the inner circle level, I have Rex, James Dean, Jesse Ray, John Steinheimer, and Wendy Tipton. I think that's all of them so far. I'd like to have a bunch more because we really get to do some cool things. We got a hangout coming up sometime this month. We hadn't decided what we're going to do. We hadn't decided when we're going to do it, but we'll do a hangout. And last month I put together the Kiss cards, the first series Don Russ Kiss cards. I put them together to show the puzzle on the back. And then we had a real long chat after that. So I'm thinking about editing that down to just putting the puzzle together and putting that out on YouTube. And just cutting off the chat at the afterwards because that was like a Patreon chat thing that we did. And so we will be doing some other stuff. Also, I was talking with Angelo earlier before we got started, and he was asking me if I had got the Ronnie James Dio autobiography yet, and I was wondering he was wondering if it was any good. And I told him I haven't seen it yet, and he said he was going to use my Amazon link to get it. If you live in the States, this is something new that I've started doing to support the channel without costing you a dime. Is that you can use my link that I'm starting to put down in the description. It's the description of this video, where you can go buy these two Journey albums on CD if you'd like, or you can just use my general Amazon link. And if you click on my link first, if you make it your bookmark for Amazon, whenever you buy something, I get a small percentage of it, like 1%. And some people have already really started using it. And I think I've got like $6 or $7 that's came in so far. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but that's only 1% of purchases. So I'm really honored and humbled by those of you that are using that link. The link is right here. It's up in the chat, but that's my link right there. That's the Amazon affiliate link. You click on that, it takes you to Amazon. And when you buy something, I get a tip. I get a referral fee is what they call it. Because basically I'm advertising Amazon and advertising Amazon products. And if you go there from my link, then I get a commission for it, like 1%. So for those of you who've used that, I really appreciate it. So Angelo said hi, and he was here early. Good to see you, Angelo. See who else we got. I saw Roger Bennett. Good to see you, Roger. Glad that you're able to make it and hang out. And then we have Rex. And good to see you. And let's see who else we have. As always, we have Sublime 130. Hey, Sublime, good to see you. And let's see who else we have down through here. Yeah, so that's everybody that I've seen so far. If somebody else is in the chat, feel free to say hi and pop up and just chat. It's a cool thing. And yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Rex. Rex is plugging me there. That didn't sound right. But Rex is plugging the Patreon page, and Rex is one of my oldest Patreons. He's been there since he's been there for a few months, and he's one of my oldest Patreons. And I really, truly appreciate your support, Rex, over there on the Patreon page. And we have fun. We do a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and I send a lot of stuff out there, send them off opportunities for them to be in the videos and to hang out, and we talk Kiss and talk whatever we want to talk about. So that's really fun, really cool thing that we do. And I enjoy it too. I really enjoy hanging out with those guys and gals. All right. Just like I enjoy hanging out with you guys on Wednesday nights. Wednesday night, this is a thing. And it's pretty much a Wednesday night thing. My wife was asking me the other day, she's like, are you going to keep on doing Wednesday night things? And I'm like, yeah, for the unforeseeable future, I see Wednesday nights as being a thing. The way Wednesday Night Live started, for those of you who have been here a long time, Wednesday nights was my editing night. I used to put stuff out on Fridays, and I have grandbabies at the house on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So Wednesday was that night in the middle of the week that I would edit. I'd shoot videos on the weekends, and then on Wednesday I'd edit it up so I could put it out on either Friday or Saturday. And it started being really like more of a grind because I was actually editing more than I was filming. And so I remember one day, it all happened by accident. I had a video that needed to go out, and I didn't have it done. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do a live. And I think I did a live on Friday. And instead of doing the video, I did a live. And people really seemed to enjoy it. And so it's not always feasible for me to do a live video on Friday night because that's usually a very busy family night. So I started doing my live videos on the nights that I edit. Well, now I'm trying to put out videos other than live, so I have to edit other times. Like I'll edit like on a Monday or on a Sunday afternoon or something like that. We just put out the In Our Heads video, season 3. I meant to have a card up for you guys to see it. You can go on my YouTube channel if you've not seen it, In Our Heads. Episode, not season 3, episode 4 of season 1. And we talked about our favorite 5 Paul Stanley songs. We talked about what we would like as far as box sets or off the soundboards, what releases we'd like to see for that. And we talked about the origin of Kiss and had a pretty good Kiss discussion. It was almost 2 hours long. So if you've got the time to just sit back and listen to 3 Kiss nerds ramble on about Kiss for about an hour and a half, then check out that episode. That's episode number 4 of season 1. And we got something special coming up for episode 6, which is going to be in the month of March. Episode 5 will be in February. Episode 6 is going to be in March. And what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to get up to 10 of you guys in the video with us live. It is going to be a live In Our Heads. and it's going to be in all of our heads, in all of us. So there'll be 10 of us up on the screen here. There'll be 5 across the top, 5 across the bottom, and we'll all be talking about KISS. And if I've got more than 10 people that wants to join, I may cycle people in and out. But that'll be something that we're going to be working on. It'll be something where you can send me something if you want to be in on that, because I'll have to send you the private link to get in on it. So that'll be something. That'll be something that we will get into. We'll start talking about in the month of February. We're going to lay out all the details out in the February episode of In Our Heads, and then we're going to have a live In Our Heads episode 6, which will be the last episode of season 1, and then we'll hit season 2 around the middle of the year. Okay, so that's enough housekeeping and everything. Let me get a drink of my Coke. I'm drinking Coke tonight. No beer, no water. I've already drank my water for the day, and I'm just about watered out. So I'm going to drink a Coke Zero. I'm glad you guys like that idea. I see you guys saying that's awesome, and that sounds really cool. And I hope that you guys can be in on it. We'll give details about what you're going to need, what you would need to be in on it. It's not a whole lot. You don't even have to download any type of special software or anything like that. You can just do it. You can even do it on your phone. You can do it on the phone, the tablet, the computer. You just need something that's got a webcam, microphone. You need a pair of headphones or some earbuds so we don't echo and cancel out and get feedback and everything. And you just need a good internet connection and a quiet place to go to be able to be in on the video. So like I said, we'll talk about all that details in Our Heads for the month of February. So tonight, we're going to talk about infinity versus evolution. Infinity versus evolution. And I'll be honest with you, it had been a while. It had been a very hot minute since I'd listened to either of these albums. And this was the very first time we've ever done any journey on the channel ever. And so I was looking up some information about the albums, and wanted to share with you some things I found, things you Journey fans probably know. But so we got Infinity that was released in 1978. And this was, Infinity released in 1978, and it was the first album with Steve Perry. And it was the last album with drummer Ainsley Dunbar. And there's a KISS connection on the 1978 album. Is Robert Fleischman was originally in Journey. He was in Journey briefly during the recording of this album. He was then replaced by Steve Perry, and he co-wrote "Anytime," "Wheel in the Sky," and "The Winds of March." So he had 3 co-writing. He had 3 co-writing credits. Hold on, let me get rid of the bot here. Let me get rid of the bot. I don't know. And if y'all don't know who Robert Fleischman is, he was the original singer for Vinnie Vincent before Mark Slaughter was hired. And then we're doing Evolution 1979. We're from 1979. This is the first album with Steve Smith as drummer, and the last album with Greg Raleigh as the keyboardist, and he was replaced by Jonathan Cain. And it's about that time when Jonathan Cain came in and started working with Neil Schon and Steve Perry, and they started writing these mega hits that made them who they are, who they were, like Open Arms and songs like that made them break really big in the early 80s. That was the journey that I was first exposed to. I think that's a lot of the journey that a lot of us, at least me personally and people that I was around, was first exposed to. And then you had to dig deeper into the catalog to find the older Journey. The journey prior to these couple albums was really like a jazz fusion, jam instrumental type bands that was widespread in the early in the mid 70s. But this era really here, I agree with you, Roger. This era here, before they got too commercial, I really like these two albums because you have that jamming on some of them, and it was before they got too commercialized and just basically started writing the hits with the filler. The filler songs wasn't so important. What was important was the hits. This is back during the time that bands made albums. They didn't make hits and then make fillers to fill in to make the album. Bands during this time, even Kiss, worked on a more broader stroke of trying to create an album as a whole, as an experience. And that's a craft that's, sadly for the most part been lost when it comes to modern bands. Not all the way lost, but just for the most part. So let's talk about you. Let's talk about the panel. And then I will talk about who our guest, our featured panelist is, who got picked off the wheel of names this week. So the panel is myself, Miss Emily Graziano, who's not here. She's got the tardy sauce again. And there's Les Wadley, but Les is always tardy. But at least he shows. Good to see you. Good to see you, Les. So we got me, Emily Graziano, James Dean, Jesse Ray, Timothy Murdoch, Joel Pegg, Armand 1972, Anthony Ferguson, Ace Wenzel, Tim F., Paul Bertolino, Bill Sharp, Les Wadley, Deuce Man 65, Gregory Pegg, Sublime 130, Eddie Thompson, Angelo Scanzelli, Trey Robinson, Jason Reiner, Roger Bennett, Dwight Manning, Dylan Tucker, and Richard Buffett. So that is everybody on the panel. There's 24 of us. And so it's good to see you, Nick. There's Stang Driver. Good to see you. You're late, but you've not really missed anything just yet. You can go back and watch what you missed on the replay. So I did the spin of the wheel earlier today, and the name that it picked out is in the chat. Mr. Roger Bennett. Roger Bennett, you, my friend, are the featured panelist. So as I'm telling my picks, I'll tell what your picks are also. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start with the first track. We're not doing the instrumental on the beginning of the second album of Evolution. So we're going to just talk about the two tracks, the actual track versus track of songs. Okay. And feel free to put in your comments, put in your thoughts, put in your picks as you feel like as we do this. So the first, and I've got some notes here. I'm going to kind of be going back and forth on my script. My script is 3 pages long on this one, y'all, because I'm going to be kind of going back and forth, giving my thoughts about these albums, these songs. So the first track is Lights versus Too Late. Lights versus Too Late. And my thoughts about Lights is the classic we all know. And it's so good. Lights is a great song. It's that old Journey sound that I love so much. And so Lights is really good. Too Late, I've just got my notes. I really love the vibe and the feel of this song. Too Late has a really cool, just a vibe. And you're going to hear me say groove a lot because there's these albums, the musicianship on these two albums is amazing. And you have just such a groove and a feel, a 70s groove, a late 70s, early 80s feel. Some of these songs sound like early 80s, even though it was 79. It sounded like it could have been 80, 81, 82 on both of these albums, on either of these albums, even though they're 70, 78 and 79. So it's gonna be cool to talk about these two. And I see people saying what their suggestions are, what their predictions are, what their picks are. And Stang Driver Nick says Journey is from my hometown, San Francisco. Big fan of Journey. Lights about San Francisco. Miss my hometown. I've never been to San Francisco. I'd like to visit someday. I've only been on the East Coast, on the West Coast. I lived in Los Angeles for 6 months when I was training. I used to work in the movies as a lighting tech, and the company I worked for moved me to LA for 6 months to train on how to work on all the different lights and the motion pictures and stuff. So I did that for about 5 years, and I was on the road, gone about 80% of the time, and that took a toll on a marriage, I'll tell you. So, so I lived in LA for about 6 months, and I loved it. All right, so Lights versus Too Late. My pick is Lights. I love Lights. Both these songs I really like, but Lights is the my pick when it comes to these two. Roger's pick was Lights also as well, so we matched up on that. Whenever I have a featured panelist like I've been doing, I'm always curious. It's almost like having a guest, a co-host. I'm always curious about how our picks line up with each other, and they don't always have to line up. That's okay. So, but we both picked Lights on this one. The loser had 4 points. This was a pretty definitive win, 20-4. The loser had 4 points. The loser is Too Late. The winner is Lights with 20 points. So there we go. Lights is the winner of the first one. So then the second song, Feeling This Way versus Lovin' Touchin' Squeezing. Two freaking juggernaut classics, in my opinion. Two amazing songs. This was a really hard pick for me. I mean, it's like right off the bat, two songs that I love equally, and it was really hard to pick. But in the end, I had to go with my gut. With okay, if I was presented with these songs at the same time, and you can only listen to one, which one would you listen to? And that's how I determine what my pick's going to be. Even if I love them equally, that's how I determine what I'm going to pick. My thoughts on these is Feeling This Way. I've got Greg Raleigh and Steve Perry sing co-lead on this, and I love that. I love when Greg Raleigh and Steve sang co-leads. It's almost like when Gene and Paul sang co-leads. Somebody mentioned that earlier. I saw it. Might have been Roger, but I don't know. I don't know who mentioned it, but I saw somebody said it. I've got Feeling This Way is such a great song. And for Lovin' Touchin', I got It's a Classic. I always stop when this song's on the radio. If I'm just scrolling through the radio, driving down the road, and Lovin' Touchin' Squeezing's on, I always stop. I don't care where it's at. I don't care if it's the nanas. I don't care if it just gets started. I always stop and listen to this song. And what a composition and a layout of a song. The way it starts off just with the bass and the drums on that little doom, 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 like a little blue. It's bluesy. Then you got that little piano comes in. It's just so great. And then Steve Perry's voice is just like silk when he comes in with that. You make me weak. It's just so good. And the way they just build this song, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing to the big ending. It's just a great song. So, Lovin' Touchin' Squeezing is an amazing song. Feeling This Way is an amazing song. So which one did I pick? I went with my gut and I picked Feeling This Way. And Roger picked Feeling This Way. They're both great songs. I can't say enough about either one of them. I saw somebody say this is going to be close. Angelo said it's going to be close. It's not close. Believe it or not, it really surprised me that this is not closer than it was. The loser had 9 points. The winner had 15 points. So there's a 6-point separation between the two. The loser with 9 points is Lovin' Touchin' Squeezing. The winner, Feeling This Way. So the first album, two songs right off the bat off of off of Infinity right off the bat. So that brings us to track 3. I know, Roger. Roger's like, wow, I know. Yeah. Goes over like gangbusters when we play it. We do Stone in Love and Slide Down to the Key of A to start loving, touching, squeezing. I've seen cover bands. There's a cover band in my area. The guitarist or the bass player, Scott Rock, has been in a lot of my videos. He's the guy that has the Kiss Fans Room. And I think he reviewed Revenge with me, and we reviewed Lick It Up, I think, together. And he's a huge Kiss fan. He's met Gene, got a Gene tattoo. Gene signed his arm. He's a bass player for Throwdown Jones, and they do a lot of Journey songs. And I've been to see them before, and the Journey songs go over. And I'm not talking about Don't Stop Believing. That always goes over big with the ladies and everything else. But Stone in Love, Love and Touch and Squeezing, they do those songs too. And those songs go, like Les said, they go over like gangbusters. Good to see you, Armand. Good to see you, man. There's Mr. Armand, 1972. Good to see you. All right, so that brings us to track number 3. This is Anytime off of Infinity versus City of Angels. City of the Angels. I love how that starts. How it's just so articulated. Anytime versus City of the Angels. And I like hearing Feeling This Way and Anytime right together. Those are two songs, they almost sound, it's like you always hear We Are the Champions and We Will Rock You Together. And you always hear Heartbreaker and Livin' Lovin' Made together. You always hear those songs together. And even newer with Brain Stew and whatever. It's a Green Day song. You always hear these two songs together. Can't remember the name of it right now. But Feeling This Way and Anytime, you always hear those songs together. And I just think that's really cool that it's always done like that. But Anytime and City of the Angels. Now, what I said about Anytime, I said awesome song. For years, it's been played along with Feeling That Way because they sound so much alike. And it's true. Anytime is a great song. I actually think Feeling That Way is the better song of the two. I don't know how you guys feel, but I think Feeling That Way is better, a little better than Anytime That You Want Me. City of the Angels just has this groovy feel to it. Like I said, you're going to hear me using the word groovy a lot. It has a groovy feel to it. So my pick is Anytime. Roger's pick is Anytime. So far we've picked together. And this is not close either. The loser has 6 points and the winner has 18 points. So City of the Angels is the loser. Anytime is the winner. So that's 3 tracks for the Infinity album. So that takes us to track number 4, La Doo Da versus When You're Alone, It Ain't Easy. And my thoughts on these two is with La Doo Da, it's a rocker. Man, La Doo Da, it just comes out rocking. And appreciate you there, Sublime. Yes, Brain Stew and Jaded from Green Day, which both songs are fun as hell to play, by the way. But La Doo Da just comes out rocking. It's a rocking song. And the song gets up against When You're Alone, It Ain't Easy. When You're Alone, It Ain't Easy, I like the groove and how this song, there's that word again, groove, and how this song kicks in midway. When this song just kicks in midway, that just does it for me. And even though La Doo Da is a rocker too, I favor towards When You're Alone, It Ain't Easy. So When You're Alone, It Ain't Easy is my pick, but La Doo Da is Roger's pick. So we picked different on this one, and that is okay. This is a kind of a landslide too. The loser only has 7 points. The winner has 17 points. And the loser is When You're Alone, It Ain't Easy with 7 points. The winner with 17 points is La Duda. And that is 4-0 right now. So track number 5 is Patiently versus Sweet and Simple. Patiently versus Sweet and Simple. Patiently, I've gotten, this is the first song that Steve Perry and Neil Sean wrote together. It's an amazing song, and it is very haunting. It's got a haunting sound to it. It's an excellent song. This was a hard pick for me because I love both these songs, but Patiently is an amazing, amazing song. For Sweet and Simple, I've got, man, I love the smooth, silky feel of this song. Steve's vocals along with Neil's riffs, and wow, how it kicks in. And there's a note that Steve hits on this song that is crazy. It's one of my favorite on the album. Now, Sweet and Simple, like I said, if you've not really appreciated Sweet and Simple, you need to go back and listen to it because I freaking love that song. I love Patiently. Patiently is amazing too. Beautiful song. Both these songs are just great in my opinion. My pick is Sweet and Simple. I love that song. I also like Patiently, but I went with Sweet and Simple. Roger went with Patiently. That was his pick. So how did the rest of the panel pick? The loser had 6 points and the winner had 18 points. So pretty definitive win. Hold on, let me kill the bot. Let me get rid of the bot here. All right, here we go. Doggy Blue Dung was blocked. I hate bots. I just hate them. I hate those advertising bots that try to scam you guys and click on links and stuff. I need to basically disable links, but sometimes I want to share links, so I don't know. It's a pro and con. Just don't ever click on any link. If the link ain't from me, don't click on it. Don't click on those links. Yeah, bad bot. Bad bot, Dark Light. Yeah, bad bot. Doggy Bulldog or Butt Dog or whatever. Butt plug had to go away. Anyway, so Patiently and Sweet and Simple. Sweet and Simple had 6 points. Patiently had 18. So Patiently wins. That makes it 5-0. 5-0. Infinity over Evolution. All right, so now we're going to flip the vinyl and we're going to go to Wheel in the Sky versus Loving You Is Easy. Now, with Wheel in the Sky, I've got mentioned on here, it's a classic rocker. It's introspective, and I love how Patiently just slides into it. It's like when Patiently goes over and Wheel in the Sky starts, it almost sounds like they're starting up a second part of Patiently if you listen to it. Even though I know you would have had to flip the vinyl, when you hear it played streaming or played on a CD, it goes straight in from one song into the other, and it's really cool that they do that. Now, I read a fact that Wheel in the Sky was actually a poem written by Ross Valerie's wife called Wheels in My Mind or something like that. And then Steve Perry rewrote some of the lyrics, and Steve Perry rewrote some of the lyrics, and Neil Sean wrote the guitar melody to it while riding around in the back of their van or bus or whatever, like whenever they were in between tour stops. It's got a really cool story to it. So, and it's going up against Loving You Is Easy. I've got Loving You Is Easy is a nice jamming song. It's just, I love the way it just jams. But I couldn't pick against Wheel in the Sky. Wheel in the Sky is one of my favorite Journey songs, one of my favorite old school Journey songs. So it's a highlight of the Infinity album for me. And so that's what I picked. And Roger picked Wheel in the Sky as well. And I see that Angelo says that's one of his favorites as well. So let me save you the trouble for the next one. Wheels all the way. Yeah, So so let's see. This is a pretty definitive win, which I thought this one was going to be. The loser only had 3 points. It's the biggest win of the album, the track versus track. The loser had 3 points. The winner had 21 points. Loving You Is Easy has 3 points. Wheel in the Sky has 21 points. So that brings it 6-0. And hello, Dwight. Good to see you. Glad you could make it. I said if you coming in late, you can catch the rest of it on the replay. Hope you go back and watch it. And so that brings us to track number 7, Something to Hide versus Just the Same Way. Now, in Something to Hide, I said, this is an okay song to me. I like the swaying rhythm of it. I think this Something to Hide is kind of the song that's kind of down there a little for me for the Infinity album, but it's not one that I skip. Just the Same Way. Just the Same Way You Love Me. Greg Raleigh and Steve Perry, another co-lead song that they sing. And this is that's one of the things I love about it. I love whenever Raleigh and Steve Perry, whenever they sing together. And I like Greg Raleigh's vocals. I know you hear him a lot more on earlier Journey albums because, well, there wasn't a whole lot of singing on earlier Journey albums too. But when there was singing, it was usually Greg. And they wanted to bring in a stronger lead. And so they brought in Robert Fleshman, like I said earlier, and he didn't work out. So they replaced Robert Fleshman during the recording of this album, writing and recording. They replaced him with Steve Perry. And, Steve was the vocalist, for a very long time. And then, like we already said, the Evolution album was Steve Smith's first album. And then the album after this one, which I can't remember the name of, you Journey fans can correct me. But the next album was the first album with Jonathan Cain. It might have been, I know you guys are going to tell me when maybe Departure. I think I see Rex mentioning Infinity, Evolution, and Departure. So maybe you guys will tell me. I think Departure is the next Escape. Escape's the next album. Okay. All right. So I like the way Journey always did their album covers and the titles of their albums is all really cool. It's like it tells a story. It's real cool. And then this is what they've become known for too, also. Departure had Greg. Okay. Well, then maybe, like I said, I'm not a Journey buff. So maybe Jonathan Cain came on for Infinity. Not Infinity, but for Escape. So you guys are, I'm not a Journey buff, so you have to excuse me. But yeah, Roger said Departure had Greg, and I really like Greg Raleigh. I like his voice and I like his playing style. Let's see. Where were we? Oh, we were at track number 7. So 7, I said Something to Hide is an okay song to me. I like the swaying version of it. Just the Way You Love Me is Greg Raleigh and Steve Perry singing together. So the winner of this has 16 points. The loser has 8. So the winner had double the points. Something to Hide had 8 points. Just the Same Way has 16. So Evolution gets its first win. So just the Same Way You Love Me is the first winner. So that is 6-1. So we go back to we're at track number 8. It's Winds of March, the epic Winds of March versus Do You Recall? And the producer of this album was a Queen's producer, and so layering stuff, layering vocals, layering instruments, and things like that. I think that's what allowed them to produce a song like Winds of March. And it was very largely instrumental, which kind of was a throwback to some of their earlier material, in my opinion. So we have Winds of March versus Do You Recall? Winds of March, I said, the epic song. I love the ebb and flow and the dynamics. And Neil, an interesting fact about this: Neil's father, Matt Schoen, co-wrote this song because I saw one of the co-writers was Matthew Schoen, and I was like, "Is that his brother?" Looked it up; it's actually his father. So Neil Schoen's father co-wrote "Winds of March." Do you recall my thoughts on this? I like this song for some reason. It reminds me of a '70s style Jackson Browne song. And for those of you who've not been a fan of my channel long, I don't do hardly any of it on my channel, but I'm a huge, huge Jackson Browne fan. And I'd love to have a Jackson. Well, I probably wouldn't like to have a Jackson Browne track versus track because I can't think of very many songs from the '70s and early '80s, but mostly the '70s that Jackson Browne did that I don't like. I don't think there is one. I love all of Jackson's songs from the '70s, and I'm a huge Jackson Browne fan. So you're probably going to see some Jackson Browne material from some point in some point. So I can get you guys listening to Jackson Browne. Yeah, I love Jackson Browne. And some of this stuff on here reminded me of that, especially this Do You Recall song. So my pick on I think I didn't do our picks earlier. On number 7, my pick was Just the Same Way. And Roger's pick was just the same way, and that's who won. So I'm sorry I didn't leave our pick on that. My pick for number 8 is Do You Recall, and Roger's pick is Winds of March. Winds of March is good, and I love it, but don't get me wrong. But there's something about Just the Same, or there's something about Do You Recall that I just love. And Winds of March, it's a good song. It gets a little out there for me, and but now I like it. But when you stack it up against this one song in particular, against Do You Recall, I just like it better. So that's just me. So me and Roger picked different on that, but the panel spoke. 9 points was the loser. 15 points was the winner. So Do You Recall had 9 points. Winds of March had 15. And I kind of figured that was the direction that one was going to go because I knew Winds of March is a big song that people like. All right. So, and I'm sorry if I'm all distorted. I'm noticing that my internet's going up and down, and I apologize for that. It's a heavy time of the evening. That's one bad thing about lives is I cannot control the quality of the video. So, when I don't shoot live, I don't shoot this way. I use a camera and I basically record on the camera and then just put the SD card in my computer. I don't do it through the streaming software unless I'm working with a guest, and then I do it. But if it's just me, I just use my camera. So that brings us with it is 7-1. All right, so that brings us to track 9. Track 9 is Can Do versus Daydream. Can Do versus Daydream. And I've got Can Do as a blistering rocker, and it's got the trippy vocals in the chorus. The vocals in the chorus just sound very, very trippy, man. That's the best way I know how to describe it when I hear them. Daydream, I've got good song. I like how it goes back and forth between rocking and then being soft. It's dynamics. You can tell Journey is a musician's band. They're a band of musicians. And I say, well, it'd be like, well, all bands are bands of musicians. But not all bands are musicians. And Journey is one of those bands that their band members were musicians. They were that next level jamming band musicians. So Can Do versus Daydream. I picked Can Do. Roger Bennett picked Daydream. So we have a tie, ladies and gentlemen. 12-12. Can Do 12. Daydream 12. Anytime I see an even number on the panel, I know that there's possibility for a tie. So both albums win a point So that is 8-2. 8-2. Okay. So that brings us to the last track. A tie. Yep. Last track. This is Open the Door versus Lady Luck. Open the Door, I've got the Open the Door is smooth and soft, yet it still rocks. That's the best way that I can describe Open the Door. Smooth, soft, but it still rocks. Lady Luck is a nice jamming song. Lady Luck kicks ass. It's a nice way to end an album. I love Lady Luck. But I like Open the Door. When it comes to these two songs, I like Open the Door better. I just like that smoothness, that Journey sound of smoothness, that silky Steve Perry, just smooth. But then when you got rocker like Neil Schon in your band, you can get kicked in the face. And that's what I like how Open Door does it. You can do that, but it still rocks. So I picked Open the Door. Roger Bennett picked Lady Luck on that. And the winner had 17 points. The loser had 7 points. The loser Opened the Door with 7 points. The winner, Lady Luck, with 17. So Infinity wins 8-3. Infinity wins 8-3. I kind of thought that was the way it was going to go, because when you stack these albums up beside each other, they're both good. They're both so good. But Infinity kind of leans a little more on the better quality of the songs, and I don't know. It just feels a little better. It feels just a little better between the two. So that win that makes it 8-3. So now the little survey at the bottom, I asked you guys to do the little survey about how you like this matchup. And 82% of you like this matchup. 82%. I don't think anybody voted less than 50%. I think there was a couple 49s. They might have been trying to go at 50, because it's either don't liked it, it was okay, or loved it. So most people were either it's okay or an extreme or going towards loved it. So 82%, that's good. That's really good. All right, so I did this in the last video, and I'm going to do it in this video. We have the requests and beer caps. And since Roger Bennett, since Roger won the featured panel member slot, I'm going to let him pick. In a minute, Roger, I want you to be thinking either left hand or right hand. And this is my left hand on the right side of the screen. And this is my right hand on the left side of the screen. I know it's confusing. This is my left hand. See, wedding ring, left hand. No ring on that hand. And my watch is on my right hand too. No watch over here. All right, so I'm gonna pull out the 2, and then Roger, you're gonna tell me either left or right. So here we go. There's one for that hand. There's one for that hand. So here we go. Left. Did you say left, Roger? Okay, you done said left. So here's my left hand. See the ring. So we're going to say the loser is, and the loser will go back in the bin. Man, look at this, Roger. I swear to you not. The loser picked by Roger Bennett. See that? Roger Bennett. The loser, Metallica and Justice for All versus Motley Crue, Theater of Pain. Oh, man. That would be good. That would be good if the tracks match up. But that's going to go back in because that ain't the one you picked. The one that you picked is this one in my left hand. So if it's not mine, put it back. I still think you guys are going to like this one. This one was picked by George Savastino. I know y'all can't see that on there. George Savastino, Blizzard versus Diary of a Madman. Blizzard of Oz versus Diary of a Madman. Now, Aussie junkies, does Blizzard and Diary of a Madman have the same number of tracks? Diary of a Madman has how many tracks? I'm looking it up. Diary of a Madman has 8 tracks. So we got 8 tracks. How many tracks does Blizzard of Oz have? Does Blizzard of Oz have 8 tracks? I'm looking it up. I can't see what you guys are saying. Y'all probably are all like, yeah. Ooh. Okay. But now we can take off D. All right. So, yeah. So we can take, one has 9. One has 9. The other has 8. So we're going to take D. We'll take D off because it's only 50 seconds. So we'll take D off and we will have 8 tracks versus 8 tracks. So we will have Diary of a Madman versus Blizzard of Oz. Holy shit. That's going to be awesome. I can't wait for that. That's going to be awesome. So thank you to George Savastino and for that pick. I don't know if you can see that. I don't think you can. Too light in here. But Roger, yours went back into the beer caps and requested beer caps and went back in there. So we will see what we end up with. Just as a discussion, since we have 5 minutes left, I'm going to put this up. We have a few minutes left. Which cover do you guys like better? I heard a lot of people earlier saying that y'all really liked the covers, the Journey covers. Which covers do you like? I think I like Evolution better. I just like the colors in it better. Although, I like how Journey is built into the cover for Infinity. But I just like the colors, and it started really working more towards the direction that they were going to be going in the future albums. But I probably like Evolution better. I'm seeing a couple Evolutions. Rex says Evolution. Nick says Infinity. Roger said Evolution. Angelo says he can't decide. So, and I like, me personally, I like Evolution better between the two. All right, so I wanted to go ahead and talk with you guys about what's coming up. What's coming up? The voting is closed on Metallica Black Album and Guns N' Roses. Voting is closed on that, I think. Let me check really quick just to make sure I'm not lying, because I don't want to lie to you. I have so many things going on. Sometimes it's hard to remember which ones we have closed or not. I'm about to go to my YouTube. It won't let me look at it on this page. So give me a second here. Let's see. Look, the next one is open until the 22nd. Yeah, so it's closed. Yeah, it closed on the 22nd. So in the 22nd, and Kiss closes on the 22nd. Okay, so you can still get in on this one. You can still get in on it. It ends the 22nd. So you have a couple days to get in on this one, and you have a couple days to get in on this one. This one is going to be a very heated debate. I have already seen some very heated debate on Back in Black and Lick It Up. So this is going to be really good. A really, really, really good matchup between those two. You have until the 22nd on that one as well. So you have a 22nd for this one, for between the Black Album and Appetite for Destruction, and between Lick It Up and Back in Black. Okay. And I said I do want to thank again. I want to thank my Patreons. I want to thank Pyretta, James Dean, Rhett Smetzer, Jesse Ray, John Steinheimer, Wendy Tipton for supporting me over at patreon.com/in my head. You can get in that as little as $3 to $5 a month, and you get a bunch of behind the scenes stuff, a lot of really cool stuff, things you get hangouts that doesn't happen on YouTube, and you get early content, unedited content that doesn't happen on YouTube. And you can also mentioned it way earlier, way earlier in the chat, that I have an Amazon affiliate now, and that you can. I want to thank everybody that's been using my Amazon affiliate. If you live in the U.S., I've had some people using it already, and you're helping to support the channel at no extra cost. I really appreciate it. And you can look at the link that's in the description. You can also look at the link that's in the chat. But when this gets done, you can look at the link that's in the description to most of my recent videos, the one that's just came out. And if you bookmark that link as your Amazon shopping page, when you go to it and purchase something, then Amazon gives me a little commission for you shopping. And I can't see what you're buying. I can't see who you are. I can't see what you're buying or anything. And it doesn't cost you any more or any less to do it. It's just they give me like a little 1% commission referral fee is what they call it, for sending you that way. And that helps the channel out without having to even pay anything. So let's see. What did Roger say? Great 70s drummers, Bunny Carlos and Ronnie etc. Bunny Carlos is really, really underrated when it comes to a drummer. Skid Row versus Warrant. Yeah, I think we've got some Skid Row versus Warrant in there somewhere. Yeah, they're both great albums. The first Warrant album and the first Skid Row album is very awesome. And there's Martin Acosta. Good to see you. That name doesn't sound very familiar, Martin, but it's awesome. If you're still here hanging out with us, it is good to see you. Let's see. Are those Kiss blocks on your shelf right above your head? Stain Driver. Angelo's already put his votes in on both. Imagine if Kiss sang Back in Black and AC/DC sang Lick It Up. Old WWF versus old NWA wrestling. I know it's a lot better than that stuff that they have going on right now. Yep, John, you're very late. You're very late. But yeah, so yeah, if you guys will really do that, if you go click on my links in Amazon, it really does help out. It really, really helps out. And you can do it. Like I said, I appreciate the people that pay money actually out of their pocket to that support me on Patreon. $3 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month, and to get the content, get the early content. I really do appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. But I don't know where Em is. I already told her that she's in trouble for being late last time. But yes, these are Kiss blocks. I want to show you these because my wife made them. All right. Some of the people have seen them before, Nick, but you're newer. Nick is currently going up through all my old content. So my wife made these. They're these are actually dice. They're craft dice, and she painted them, and she put the Kiss logo on them, and she dazzled them. You see that right there? She dazzled them. But check this out. Not only do they say Kiss, but if you flip the blocks around to the other sides, they look like that. So she painted the faces on there herself by hand. I tell her she should sell these things, man, that she could sell them for like $20 because these are good size blocks. They're like 2x2 blocks. All right. Now check this out. At one point in time, Peter left Kiss. And we got Eric Carr. Check that out. We got Eric. And then, at one point in time, Ace Frehley left Kiss. Well, Peter got fired. Ace left. Ace Frehley's never been fired from Kiss. And now we got Vinny. And if Paul and Gene would have had a little bit more imagination, we'd have the two new guys in makeup rather than Scab Kiss ripping off the original makeup. But that's just my opinion. It don't have to be yours. But yeah, so that's my Kiss blocks that my wife made me. I tell her over and over she needs to sell them on Etsy, and she won't do it. She could say it's inspired by Kiss. There's my boy. What can she do with construction paper, though? Man, AJ, I tell you what, you just gave me a cool idea for a video. It's in my head, except it is side by side, head to head, craft night using construction paper with April on one side, my wife April on one side, and AJ Zetro on the other. That would be awesome. Are you up to the challenge, AJ? Look, there she is. Okay, everybody say, hey, Emily. Where have you been? This is your second live that you've missed in the last 2 weeks, and you need to report directly to the principal's office for your tardy slip. Yeah. Yeah, and that I've told her they would sell, but yeah, that's what she's afraid. She's afraid that Gene would go after her. But I'm like, I see Kiss stuff on sale for sale on Etsy all the time, and they just say inspired by Kiss. So I don't know. Nick, would Ace be considered loaded dice? Yes, yes, yes. And we did miss you, Emily. Missed you great. See, can't you tell? Everybody's saying, look, we're going to imagine Emily. Here we go. See, look, Emily. See, look at this. See, Emily. See, I'm embarrassing you right now. Oh, sorry, don't cut it, Emily. No. I agree with Angelo. It's okay. We all have lives. I know you guys have lives, and it just honors me and humbles me that you guys spend in my head live Wednesday nights, in my head Wednesdays, that you spend that time with me. You guys never cease to amaze me, guys and gals. You never cease to amaze me with your support. Supporting me just watching videos, being here, hanging out with me, liking my stuff and subscribing and always be sure to give a thumbs up on my videos. Be sure to give a comment. Share it on your social media if you want to. All that stuff helps that crazy YouTube algorithm that puts my videos out for more people to see, so we can bring in more people, more cool people like Nick. See, Nick's a new member of the family. Some of you guys are new members of the family. And how'd you find me? You found me because YouTube recommended a video. And the reason why it does that is because if it's got other people liking my videos, then they figure, well, if these people like it, then this person probably liked it based on what they search for. So you guys are currently viewers. If you want to bring more in, want to have more in these chats, I don't care if there's 2 of us in here. I don't care if there's 200 of us in here. I'm just here to hang out with you guys. You guys have my Wednesday nights from 8 to 9, and it's actually after 9. But you guys have me for an hour every week for us to just hang out and talk about Kiss or about Journey or about whatever else we want to talk about. And I really do appreciate you. I appreciate you guys that support me on Patreon. We got Rex in here. Rex supports me on Patreon. He was here earlier. And those of you who are clicking on my Amazon link, like I was saying earlier, that's really something I'm really excited about. If you guys just click on my link, my Amazon link that's down in the description of this video after it gets done, it says my Amazon affiliate link. If you click on that and you save that as your link to go to Amazon, then every time you purchase something, you're donating to the channel without even really trying. You don't have to pay any extra money. It doesn't cost you extra. If you click on it and you purchase something, then I get a 1% referral of whatever Amazon charges you, and it doesn't charge you more. I had somebody say, "Does it charge me more?" They don't. It doesn't charge you more. They're going to charge you the same amount whether you click on my link or whether you don't. You can actually do that. You can try it without clicking on my link, and then trying it when clicking on my link, and it pretty much is going to be the same price. But so yeah, so if you just guys will just click on that, that would be great, and save that as your bookmark that as your way to get to Amazon, and that will help the channel. That has the potential to help the channel a lot, a lot. And since it's just like a collective thing, that has the potential to help the channel a lot. But anyway, I hope that you all guys and gals, Emily, I'll talk to you later. Talk to you, like I said, you guys can message me, private message me on any of my social media. You can look that up, and you can just find me on social media. I'll put that up really quick for you so you guys can see it. If you don't know about it, let me stop this. But yeah, you guys can look me up. You can message me. You can send me a message. You can send me, "Hey, I saw this real cool post," and forward it to me or tag me in it or whatever you want to do. That's cool. I look forward to hanging out with you guys, and I hope that you guys have a good rest of your week. Friday's coming. We just went through a huge snowstorm here in my area. I had about 9 inches of snow on the ground. I had to work from home a couple days. Went back to work today. Midweek. Wednesday was my Monday. So you guys have helped me out so much, and I look forward to hanging out with you all the time. And yep, like John said, like I always say, turn off the news, turn on the music, and take care of your brain, take care of your body, be safe out there. And I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you in the next video, or I'll see you next Wednesday. Next Wednesday is Metallica versus Guns N' Roses. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great evening, everybody.